fighting as an amateur, all the amateur promoters, they would love it because Angel would buy 300 or 400 tickets and sell it. And he bet when Vinny was 9, 10 years old, he's telling everybody, my son is going to be a world champion. So it was great. But one of the things I remember with Vinny was he come into the office, he had about 43 wins. And he said, look, I've done just about everything. There's only one more thing I want to do. I want to end my career with 50 victories. I said, all right, we're going to make that happen. And we went all the way and we got our 50th, we're in our 50th victory fight at Foxwoods Casino.
And I was losing.
We're getting beat. No, he signed me a picture in my office before this, and it said, Jimmy, 50 or death. So I got that. I actually, to this day, I look at it every day and I read it every day. But we're getting beat 5 rounds to nothing. We are really getting beat. So as a promoter, I'm not supposed to go in the corner. I go in the corner and I pull his trunks down.
Wait a minute, Jimmy.
Sorry for interrupting. We are live now.
From here, Mauricio, I'd put my head back on the corner stool, on the cushion, and he grabs me by my trunks. So I look over, and it's Jimmy B, and I'm going, he's not supposed to be here. He's the promoter of the show. He's not supposed to be in my corner. So he said, he's pulling on my trunks. He goes, champ. So I go just like this. I look over to him. And he goes, you're losing this fight. You got to get close to this guy. You're losing this fight. And I put my head back and I said, you idiot. I told you not to put the 50 on your short. I put 50 on my shorts to go for my 50th win. So I was so hesitant to put it on because I didn't win it yet. And I'm thinking that this 50 is giving me bad luck. So I said, I put my head back and I just go, oh my God, I can't believe Jimmy B had to do that to me to wake up. I got to wake up and win this fight. And that's when I won the fight. I dropped him in 2 rounds later.
Right after. Mauricio, one thing that Vinny forgot to say when I did pull his trunks, I said, you told me 50 or death. Well, we're dying.
Yes.
So, but there was on, I mean, when we were in Las Vegas and Vinny fought Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard fought Donnie Lalonde, and Vinny had
oh my God, one of the worst nights of my life.
Any other fighter would have just quit. Vinny's tongue was hanging by a thread, and he was so dehydrated and everything. But one thing that he always wore on his shoulders and never anything less was basically that he was going to let it hang all out. We're watching a fight another time, Vinny and I, and the fighter quits on a stool, and he looks at me, he goes, Jimmy, I could never do that. Why would anybody quit on a stool? So it was, we could write a book about this. It was amazing. You get to know a fighter because I think, Mauricio, I run my operation, my promotional business the same way you run the WBC. We are family. I don't throw these fighters away. If they get beat, I don't rip up their contracts. The only time I will not tell a fighter he's not going to fight if I think he's just not physically well enough to fight anymore. So we run it as a family. Vinny and I talk almost on a daily basis to this day. There's one thing, and I put something out. I don't know our friends at the Boxing Hall of Fame and my friend Ed Profi up there. I don't know what the hell is the hold up with getting Vinny into the Boxing Hall of Fame because he surely deserves it.
Absolutely. So I got to ask Joanna a question based on all of this stuff. Joanna, now you've heard these guys talk. What do you think is more dangerous, boxing or being a prosecutor?
Definitely boxing.
Slightly.
Oh,
Just a little.
you get involved?
Well, way back when, like in 1996, I was appointed to the State Athletic Commission. And that's how it all started. And I was on the State Athletic Commission for a while. Then I went to work as the executive director for a tribal commission. And I got involved with the ABC on their legal committee, and then became one of their board members. I was secretary for a number of years. So I did that for quite a while. And then I got a call from Dwayne Ford about the NABF, asked if I was interested in serving on his board, and I definitely was at that time. I had quit working for the State Athletic Commission, and was no longer with the ABC, and went with the NABF. And the rest is history, as they say.
But when you were a prosecutor, the two fields sort of merged at one point.
It did. My first case, my first homicide scene, I should say, one of the lead officers at the scene was Bobby Foster. And he was a sheriff deputy at that time for Bernalillo County. And so that was my first interaction with a champion. And it was funny because at the time, you're not paying a whole lot of attention to who else is around, other than what your purpose is there. And towards the end of it is when I realized that it was Bobby who was one of the lead investigators on the case.
Wow.
Well, you picked a good one there. One time when our dear friend, God rest in soul, Sammy Macias was with the NABF, we almost had every division. We almost had a champion. I was shooting hard to get every weight category. We had a CS champion. We came close, and we're starting to work that out again. But that's good. You made a great choice. That's for sure.
Thank you. I think I did as well.
Vinny, do you ever miss boxing?
No. 100%. No.
No, do you miss the sound?
You know what I miss? I miss Jill. The only thing I really miss about boxing now is the discipline. That's the only thing I miss about boxing, because now I can go out, I can get a bag of M&Ms and I don't feel no remorse. You know what I mean? It's just not the same for me. I can drink to no end. It doesn't bother me, but I had so much discipline when I was in that game, which is why, I did what I did. That's why I go get into 50 wins in a professional boxing world. That's not an easy thing to do. I fought 60 fights and I fought all the best in the world. I didn't fight too many bums. I fought a couple that were like, maybe, but I fought all tough guys, and I'm proud of what I've done, and just, you got to be lucky and blessed in life, and I feel very blessed. Look what happened to me. I broke my neck. I came back and I won. I mean, who does that? I got to 50 wins. Who does that? I got lucky. I had a great person in here in the state with me, Jimmy Birchfield, to do what I did. Look, I'm wearing this because I love you guys. I love you, Jill. You're the bomb. My girl Zena, my PR girl, but she's my right arm. She's everything for me. And Mauricio knows just how strong she is. You got to be lucky in life. I got lucky to meet her. It's only a stroke of luck. Facebook, go figure. You got to be lucky in life.
Vinny,
I feel blessed. I'm blessed in life.
Please explain this picture. What is that thing in your head and your chest? How was that artifact?
Oh, the halo.
Yes. We have a picture of it in the screen.
You see the picture on the screen, Vinny?
No, I can't.
Yeah, it's got a picture of you holding your hands up with your halo on. You know, going back and Mauricio asked the question is, when you had the son, how did you feel? What did you feel? Mauricio, when I think one of the things, Vinny, that everyone should know is when the doctor came in and said you'd never fight again.
Yep. That was like the most crushing moment in my life, right at that moment.
And what did you say to the doctor?
I said, nah, I don't think so, Doc. I think you're wrong. I think you're really wrong. And that's coming from a guy who graduated from CCRI.
Yeah. So Vinny, I think
Mauricio, CCRI is Community College of Rhode Island, 2-year school. No big deal.
Vinny, is pain tolerance that high, or are you just incredibly out of your mind that you had this attached, no anesthesia, that they put the screws in your neck like a walk in the park?
Yeah. Sometimes in life, you gotta feel like you got superhuman strength, and it'll pull you through. This here, two things. In your mind and in your heart. And it was relentless for me to wear that halo for months. It was relentless. And I got lucky. I'm blessed, I'm strong, and I stayed on course. I never veered away when that happened. And I made it happen. Got lucky, and you only get lucky with a lot of hard work. And Maurizio and Jimmy Birchfield both know, and Jill, you know that too. You know that you only get lucky in life when you do hard work.
You were talking about Sina. What a wonderful person.
She's the bomb. Yeah.
Oh, she loves you so much, and she's so passionate, and she's so dedicated, and she's so caring. It's a complete package.
She's she's our muse. The voice comes in through email, but we've never met her. But she's amazing, and always quality information from her. We love her.
Yeah, she's
been so good to Vinny through the years. I mean, and where sometimes when your career's over, you're on top of the world, everybody disappears. Regardless, she's been there for him and made some really good things happen for him.
Yeah, great things, and she's the bomb. And I could talk about her for a while, but we're gonna let it go. She's gonna see this, and Zena, I love you, and that's it. We're gonna do things. We got some big things coming up. Got some great things. Jimmy, Maurizio, Jill got some great things coming up. Got literally A&E is selling this piece. They're in the process of doing it now, and they're calling this episode, this hour episode on TV. They're calling it the greatest comeback in the history of sports. Thank you.
Well, that's deserving.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool.
It really is.
Joanna, what is boxing like now where you are? Are the gyms open? Are the arenas open? What's going on there?
Absolutely nothing, unfortunately. Gyms are open fairly recently, last couple of weeks. The percentage is, 25% is my understanding. But there's really not anything going on. The state is still in the beginning of phase 2 is my understanding, or the end of phase 1. It's unclear. Things are opening, but very slowly. And I think because of the surrounding states and what's happening in Arizona and Texas, it's going to be a bit longer before anything happens here in New Mexico. The governor's been very conservative with regards to reopening things.
We're having a big fight in New York now trying to get the gyms open just for the professional boxers, because they're allowing the NBA to train, they're allowing the baseball people to train, and they're not making a distinction between people who boxercise and people who do it for a living. It's very discriminatory. So we're really trying to get that happening.
It makes no sense at all.
No, it just
not to let the professional boxers.
I think a friend of ours, all of us, Bruce 𝗧𝗔𝗨𝗡 at least his gym is really, you know, I mean, he's suffering hard because he's got a lot of professional fighters there.
Right.
They can't train, and you know, it's just listen. I thought in the 30 years that I've been doing this that I've seen just about everything that you could possibly see. But these uncharted waters, I mean, still we have to be concerned about the health and the humanity factor with everyone, because this is real. I mean, it's not any joke. It's a real situation. There's an event that we do on the other side of Boston at the North Shore Theater. A guy by the name of Bill Haney owns it. He owns 6 of them. And his general manager, the wife, they're around 50 years old, and the husband run the place. The husband came down with the virus and he died. She's been in an induced coma and doesn't know that the husband has died yet.
Oh.
So when you come to them kind of cases, it's really being careful of everything that's out there. And I mean, we got to do it. We got to do it right. But I think we see some good stuff. And I think sometimes that what is happening, how big the challenges are, we've got to be able to, in this boxing business, be able to find things that are going to even make us stronger and better and learn from all of this. And I think we'll get there.
You know, it's interesting to me, Jimmy and Vinny, you picked one corner of the world and you've never seemed to move out of it. What is it about New England that keeps you rooted there?
It's cool for me because it was so small, and you know, everywhere I went, it was just like, you know, people always happy to see me or pissed off at me. You know, it's you know, it's a good thing and a bad thing. But I love Rhode Island, and yeah, I'm glad it happened here, and I know Jimmy feels the same way about it.
Well, I know you outsold Frank Sinatra when you fought. I mean,
yes, he did. 15,185 people, standing room only. No one could get in on a Thursday night with no television.
It's a hometown hero.
Yes, positively. And I think to add on to Vinny is, listen, we do fights all over. I mean, everywhere. But you have a home base. We've continued to program, whether we've had television, we haven't had television. We've continued. We've turned fighters pro and brought them all the way to championship levels. And, you know, you get relationships in certain areas. I think one of the things boxing has done for me, and I'm sure it's done for you and Mauricio and everyone else on this phone, is no matter what country or what state that we would be in, I can pick up the phone and I can call someone that I have a great relationship and it's a great person, and they will get something done if they say they're going to get it done. Absolutely. So as this community, and listen, we have a lot of people that are not real in this business. We know that, but we have a lot of good people in this business. And one of the things that here, so we have the arenas, we have Foxwoods, we have Mohegan, we have all of these areas, Twin River Casino, and we have working relationships with all of them. And as we go out, whether we go to Atlantic City or whether we go to Texas or wherever we go, them relationships carry on with you. Like, for instance, I would like to share this story. I think you know it, Jill, and Mauricio surely knows it. So Jose in heaven called me and said, Jimmy, you do not have a monument for Rocky Marciano in Brockton, as we don't have a monument for Vinny Paz in Providence either, okay? Which is well-deserved. But he said, I want you to put a committee together. And you know, you never said no to Jose. So, and he said, we're going to find a way to get this to happen. In all my life, I have made some unbelievable things happen. Vinny can testify to it. I have done miracles. So we set up a committee. Mike George was on the committee, and Jose told me to put a few other people on the committee. And Jose came out here several times. We met in Brockton with the mayor. And the last words that Jose said is, I'm having the monument made, and I will ship it in from Mexico to Boston, and we will get the monument up. And I don't remember if Mauricio, I think he was there. We had in the Brockton stadium, Brockton high school football is like seeing one of the NFL teams. It's big time.
Yeah.
We unveiled the Rocky Marciano. Here it is.
There it is.
Mauricio, I do not know how your father ever got this done. This is why he is a saint in heaven. This is only one of the things that he done for someone who surely deserved it. And he had it shipped. He had it shipped by boat over here. And we had an unveiling. We had bands. We had everything you could think of. It was a spectacular weekend. Mauricio, do you recall that?
Absolutely. It was one of my father's favorite days ever.
Yes.
We had Don King, Larry Holmes.
Yes.
So many, but especially the town. That was the key of everything.
They opened the key to us.
The kids, the band playing. It was very sunny, I remember.
Yes,
and
yes.
It was just, we had pizza.
Pizza.
Yes. if you could write a book, I mean, if you could write a story the way you want it, Vinny's been very good at this in his movies and stuff. He's hands-on like I am. So if he doesn't like something on the movie or something, he's gonna, here we are, this is beautiful. It was such a special day on having everyone there representing this. I don't think there's been anything more spectacular of what our president for forever, 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡, could have done this any better. I mean, just the shipping, never mind having it made and having it done. It's the shipping and getting it there. But Mauricio was right. There it is. There's Mauricio. He was so proud that day. You know, that big, beautiful smile of his. He was smiling all day. And really, the city of Brockton, Mauricio, if you remember, they had the marching bands, they had flags, they had everything that you could think about. And one of the things that topped the cake is, after the monument, you would think that Jose said, oh, good, I did my job. No, he was still on the phone calling Larry Holmes, still on the phone calling Don King, and getting everyone there to make this more. Look at that smile of his. I can see it every day. He was more than just getting every component done and done perfectly. It was one of the best things, and I'm hoping that we're going to do that here in Providence for Vinny Paz as well.
Jimmy, with Mauricio, the apple don't fall far from the tree.
I know that.
Well, I love this. I think we're taking from this day our goal to do the Vinny Paz statue. So we'll mark this day down, and we'll create a committee.
There's one other thing that I'd like to mark down too, and not getting anybody politically wrong, is that we need every help possible. I know they're going to make they had to cancel, and I've been a sponsor of the Boxing Hall of Fame for years and years and years. That Vinny's name goes in there into the Hall of Fame. So if we could get the monument here in Providence, and I will guarantee you one thing, Mauricio, if you think there was a party in Brockton, you'll see the party we have here in Providence. So,
somewhere, Ted Sayers is stuck somewhere in Zoom heaven. It's just, he's
it happens
for the International Boxing Hall of Fame. You could have given him the spiel.
I know, I already have. so, but listen, there it is, Vinny, and you know, the WBC, because it was one of the only belts that Vinny didn't officially win, and I'll have Mauricio explain on how they presented the WBC belt to Vinny.
They felt so bad for me, Jimmy. They gave me a belt.
Not really.
No,
that was an honor.
The reality is that Vinny is a one of a kind. He's a rock star. He's a one in a generation fighter who accomplished it all. And my father was there in Las Vegas. He witnessed the sacrifice, the tremendous horrors of dehydration, and the way Vinny went all out against Roger Mayweather to try to capture the green belt.
Yes.
And years after that, when Vinny conquers the world with such a brave heart to not only come back from a car accident and win a boxing title, but when he becomes a human factor to motivate millions. That's when my father, the WBC, decided to honor Vinny Paciencia with the honorary world championship belt. We're showing it in the screen. And your deeds, Vinny, have gone, they have crossed any border, not only geographically, but spiritually. And you are simply a great inspiration to all of us. And there's a question now that there's this box picture. What do you think of Miles Teller on the way he portrayed you in the movie?
Miles
Teller, sorry.
He was awesome. He was awesome. You know, Mauricio, I don't even know how he played me so good because he wasn't with me all that long. You know, it wasn't, a couple of weeks. And I was like, wow. But there's so much stuff on the computer about me. That's why. He did so much research, and he was awesome. He was awesome. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. He's a great guy.
He sounds like Vinny, was walking like Vinny. He talks like Vinny. It was amazing.
Joanna, have you seen Bleed for this?
I have not, but I plan on it.
Your assignment, my dear. It's a really fine movie. Even if it were not a boxing movie, it would be a really fine movie. Great portrayal, interesting.
He did a good job with it.
You gotta go.
It's one of the best movies. I mean, because it's real. It's a real story. There's nothing make-a-believe in it, and I think a lot of people didn't really realize what Vinny had to do and what he had to go through to even think about getting back into the ring. And that night of the 50th victory was something that I said that at the end of that night, I took a deep breath and said to myself, you know what? This has been a great accomplishment for Vinny, and I feel like I did my job here, and it would have, like Vinny said, when he put that 50th on his trunks. But Mauricio, you said something on Vinny. This is show business. Boxing is show business. It's entertaining. I don't want to just put guys in a ring and fight. I want the people to know who these fighters are, what they do, what sacrifices they have to make. And I do want to talk, and I'm hoping that you'll give me a few minutes here on where we are on this uncharted waters in boxing. But Vinny knew this. If I wouldn't have to tell him, listen, he's coming to the WBC, to a convention in Mexico, to put the Mexican hat on. He knows it. He knows what to do. That's what differentiates him and him a star. That's what made him a celebrity in this. He knew, you know, if let's say there was a black fighter or somebody got killed, you'd see Vinny go in the ring a week later with that fighter's name on his shorts. I wouldn't tell him. He knew what to do. He you know, so it's what I do want to say here, and this is important, and I know the WBC as far as has taken all the health issues with the weigh-ins and the weight after the weigh-in and the medical and looking at, you know, if we're able to make something happen, which I can't divulge right now, where part of the proceeds are going to go to the retired fund of the fighters that I think, you know, a lot of them surely need it. But listen, we're in danger water here, as much of a challenge as we have in boxing. I have never stopped. This is the first time I've ever had to stop doing events. And when we say that gyms are not open, March 12th, Twin River Casino, I had a date in February. They asked me, can you do me a favor? We have a big concert we can take in. And can we change this date in February for March? I said, yeah, if it's a good concert for you, we have a good relationship. I take a Thursday night, March 12th, and we got a great card. We got a sold-out event. Monday, our governor puts the state of Rhode Island in a state of emergency. I call up Twin River Casino. I call the governor's office. Listen, are we going to be able to do the fight? Counselor, you would appreciate this. This is really important. So are we going to be able to do the fight Thursday? It's Monday. We're in a state of emergency. No, they call me. Let me call you back. They call me back in 2 hours. And Twin River tells me, no, we're going to do the fight. We have your fight Thursday. We have a concert Friday, and we have a concert Saturday. I said, are you sure? Because I've got to fly in all the fighters. And as we know, it's some of the things that I need the commissioners to know. I need the ringside physicians to know and everything. Most of these fighters, they're not like Vinny. A lot of fighters, they don't have health coverage. They don't have anything. So when we as a promoter, the good promoters, take these fighters, we have to have all their medicals done because they don't have the money to do it and to put them in a fight. So I fly all the fighters in from Tuesday, pick them up at the airport, bring them to the hotels, put them in their rooms, give them the food, have the weigh-in Wednesday night. The weigh-in's all over now, okay? Everybody made weight. We got 80 tickets left to sell the place out. Thursday morning at 7 o'clock, I get a call from the governor's office in the Twin River Casino. The event is canceled.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah. And beyond that, Counselor, I've had 5 events that I've had to take out that I had. So basically right now, with the COVID testing and everything, listen, if you have big licensing fees from networks and stuff, you can pass that on. Listen, when we're doing at that time a HBO show or Showtime show or something, you have them dollars, okay? What some of the commissioners and some of the powers to be in this business don't know what really a good promoter has to put an event together. In order to, you can't be doing this and losing money.
Sure.
You have to look at all of these costs. California's going to do boxing, but with the new medicals that are going to be needed for COVID, it's going to be an additional maybe $20,000 to $25,000 more on their commission costs than regular costs. So we're trying to figure out, as the states are, and hopefully I want to help my friend 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗 in New York, as well as a lot of people. We're going into phases ourselves. We're working on some tremendous projects, and it's phase 1, doing these without fans, okay? But the charisma and everything is not there, all right? Without the fan base and selling the arenas out, how do you pay the bills, okay? That's that. So we are in uncharted waters, and I believe that I haven't stopped working a day from March 12th was the day that we went into hibernation here till today, working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know that Mauricio made an announcement that they would look at the sanction and fees going forward until things get, at least there stands. So the commission's medical people, just to pass this all on to the promoter and make the promoter, it's going to just stall this more, because the promoters that have business savvy and that know what they're doing, they're not going to do events with basically losing money doing them. And on the other factor, we have fighters we're under contract with. We have to we've got to give them so many fights a year at so many minimum purses. The world of boxing has to know all of these factors, okay, before they make decisions. Because if you got one or two promoters doing events because they may have a licensing contract, all right, that's not enough to keep our great sport of boxing going forward. So, Counsel, I don't know how you feel about all of this, but, you know, I'd like to at least you give some comment on it.
Well, Jimmy, what I was wondering is, are those, the additional medical costs, are those being passed on to you, or the commission's paying for them?
No, we pay, the promoter has to pay.
On the additional, I know that the initial, the original medical costs, but now with the additional medical costs, I wasn't sure whether maybe the commission.
No, the promoter has to pay for that too.
Wow.
Uncle Jimmy.
Plus we got to pay, you know, the ringside doctors,
sure,
the referees, the judges, timekeepers, the boxing gloves, the ring, and everything else. So listen, I'm a hands-on promoter. All right, I can tell you if we got a 15, 20,000 seat arena, I can tell you someone who's sitting in the wrong seat. Okay, I'm hands-on, and basically I pity the promoters that maybe there was a promoter that most of you will know that passed away now. His name was 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗. I think Mauricio, you remember 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗏, and we had a meeting once, and 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗏 looked at me. He said, "You know, Jimmy, a lot of people come and play in our business. They're not like you and I that we work in our business." So there are a lot of people that come and play in our business. They may have a lot of money. They come in it because they've never been on television or anything. It's a big thing for them to get in a ring and be seen in a ring. But this is real business. This is like, you know, you can't, you do an event, you got 6 or 8 weeks, there's no money income coming in, all right, for 6 or 8 weeks, but you have expenses every week, and then you do your event, and so consequently, listen, to look at fighters now, I mean, on certain levels, and say you got to take a cut and pay, they haven't even been fighting, you know. So some of these projects we're working on now to get to hopefully the day where we can fill up arenas again. They're going to be exciting. They're going to be different, all right, as we go along here. But, you know, so, Counselor, I think it's really important that all these factors, I wanted to get all the commissioners and the ABC and everything else and speak to them and let them understand. First of all, we're not enemies. Sure. There's some commissions that they take a promoter as an enemy. But there's some commissions, we're not enemies. We're in this together. If we don't do fights, you're not going to be working. So, right. so consequently, we got to work. We're not asking for anyone to do anything that's not right, but we got to stay together right now. And there will be a lot of people falling by the wayside. But we've got to stay together.
No, I agree. There's a lot of good commissions out there too, Jimmy. You know that.
I've got commissions I can call. I lose a fight. Listen, I'm doing a fight a few years ago at Mohegan Casino. We're fighting a world title fight because I was one of the first promoters ever, and Jill can notice that blessed female boxing.
Absolutely.
I took female boxing when nobody would even touch it. Okay.
Absolutely. No, talk a little bit about that, because you are like one of the people that brought female boxing way up at a time when absolutely no other promoter would do it.
No other promoter would do it, and no other network would say. And listen, I believed in it. I believed that it's equal, and I didn't, at first I probably thought a beautiful girl fighting. But then you see that they're athletes. They can do almost, they can golf, they can play basketball, they can play hockey, they can do everything. So I said, if I'm going to do this, boy, we made some great champions.
Name some of your champions, Jimmy.
Well, I think one of my favorite champions was from Canada, and she's a three-time world. Jamie the Hurricane Clampett was one of my favorites. Missy Fiorentino was another. Yes, and I could go on, and I think that and you know what? When no other promoter would even think about female boxing, and I think Jamie's getting inducted into where Vinny did at the Las Vegas Hall of Fame, and she said, "Mr. B, I want you with me because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made my accomplishments." She's got a beautiful Jill. The next time you're in Providence, I got to take you to her gym. She's got a beautiful gym. She's training fighters. She's a tribute to female, and she's a great tribute to boxing.
So I see there's some real issues that are different for promoters that don't have television contracts. They're different for smaller promoters. They're different based on each commission and the commission's view. But I kind of see boxing right now the way I see Vinny, because we're going to share the title, The World's Greatest Comeback. It's going to happen. It's going to straighten itself out. And when it comes back, people are going to be so hungry. The boxers are going to be so hungry that we're going to have an amazing explosion of boxing. And we have to be optimistic about it. Deal with the real problems. See this as sort of a catch time, and then move forward into what's going to be the world's greatest moment for boxing next year. I see.
Well, yeah, and I think I want to answer the commission, the councilor's question for a moment. There is, you know what? There are some tremendous commissioners because they understand boxing. Here's our picture, Mauricio. Look at.
I love it.
It's Uncle Jim hugging you.
Yeah.
So listen, I think that council, I have commissions that I can call at 3 o'clock in the morning. I lose a fight, and I got a problem with, like well, let's say there were a couple of fights with Vinny that we lose his opponent. Well, I wasn't going to sleep at night because again, I'm hands-on. I'm going to work with our matchmakers, and I'm going to get that fight done. Jamie Clampett, we're fighting in Mohegan, defending a title of hers. She sold about 600 tickets. After the weigh-in, they tested her opponent, and the opponent was pregnant.
Oh my God!
Oh.
And
wow.
I said to the commission, you got to make me replace this fight somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but he said, I'll give you till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, the day of the fight. Wow. I got it done. But without that commissioner, and I talked to that guy maybe, I talked to him maybe 4 times during the night. He didn't go to bed and I didn't go to bed. So sometimes you have, listen, here's what I find about the boxing world. When you get real people in this business, and Jill, I don't only say this on what you've done for the WBC, because I believe in you. I'm telling you, when I look for people, I want people I can depend on. If I give them something to do, I want the job done. And I want it done to perfection. I want it done right. So when you get that, and with Mauricio having people like everyone that's on this phone right now, it makes his job so much easier. So he knows that you're going to get things done and done right, and you can't do it any other way. It's teamwork. It's how it is. But counsel, I also have had commissions that look for excuses to get rid of a fight. Okay, and it's torture. It's really torture. And again, it's like enemies. We're not enemies. So I'm hoping that I could get everyone in a room and we could talk and we could say, listen, how can we make our job easier, make your job? I tell my matchmakers, listen, do not give a commissioner a fight that you know that he can't pass or he shouldn't pass. Don't even give him that fight. But if you have a fight with somebody that maybe might have a 500 record, but that the record is that he's been in there with legitimate fighters, like some of the Philadelphia stuff, some of the fighters. I'm sorry, they're just throwing my landscape in here.
So what is that? What happened?
I'm at my house because I didn't make it back, and they just got all the landscape, and they're blowing all the blowers and everything. Stop them. Yeah, but you got to put it off. All right. So I'm sorry. So listen. I think
I want to do an exercise, Jimmy.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you and Vinny to create the greatest fighter in history, okay?
Hey, what's Anna? Come on.
Yeah, and Joanna, of course, ladies first, Joanna. So I'm going to say a category.
Oh, no.
With 6 different categories, and then you say which boxer is the best one to
Yikes. I say start.
Okay?
I say start with the guys first.
No, you go together. Come on, Joanna, you can do it.
Well,
okay.
Can I just start with my best favorite boxer for all kinds of reasons, not just boxing, but everything that was done inside and outside the ring is probably most people's favorite is Muhammad Ali.
Bam.
And there's no question that his work with children was absolutely. And I got to see it twice in person when I was a young kid. And he was in my little hometown in New Mexico on a run across the country for food, feeding the hungry with Dick Gregory. And their bus broke down and he was there for 3 days. And the entire time, all he did was spend it with the children in this little tiny community. It was amazing.
So
and it didn't stop there. It went on and on and on. So to me, that's the person that comes to mind always for all kinds of reasons.
So listen, yes. Let me, Mauricio, just let me say one. So we did, I did a business deal with Muhammad Ali after he retired, and he came to Providence for a charity. And I had a very good restaurant here in Providence for a good many years. And he came to my restaurant and we had dinner, and there were we roped it off. And he said, "Are these your customers?" He said, "Take that rope down." He signed all autographs with everybody. Then he said, "Can I talk to you alone a minute?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "I want you to take me to the worst place in Providence where my people will be at." And I thought, and I don't know, maybe Vinny could remember this. There was a place called South Providence, right near Rhode Island Hospital. The name of the place was called Tilly King's. We walk in there, and half of the guys have, they've had too much to drink, and there's a few women there as well, and they got their heads down. Nobody even recognizes Muhammad Ali. Finally, one guy does. He sat with every one of them people, put his arm around them, talked to them, right? And gave each one of them a $50 bill. I witnessed this. It was just an amazing to see that. That's just one story. So if you want to talk about the heavyweight division, I think.
Is that you on the lower left?
What's going on, Victor?
I'm trying to connect Ted. Maybe you can hear him. Ted, say hi.
Hi. Oh.
Hi, Ted.
We can't hear you, so you can talk.
Ted.
Hi, Ted.
Okay, I want to give a message to Vinny that Charlie Dwyer says hello, the referee.
Oh my God! Yes, yes, yes. Wow.
Well, the bigger message
And
I
also,
thought you.
Vinny should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, good. That's the message we were waiting for.
Ted,
Jimmy says that's a match. Can you hear? Okay, that's good.
Ted, you're one of the 11 Hall of Fame. How can you make that happen?
I will be in the Technology Hall of Fame. So is that.
Hey, can I get on here and say something? Can I do this now? Can you all hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Victor.
And Mr. Birchfield, Bob Benoit says hello. Bob Benoit.
Say hello to you. Tell him I said hello. He's a good man.
Maurizio, your guy Victor, I would have never hired him because he looks like Haugen.
Like Greg Haugen.
Like Greg Haugen.
Ted speaks. Ted.
Where'd that come from? Jesus. Oh my
Look at him. He looks
you're
like
in good shape.
Oh my
Greg
God.
Haugen.
So
We're watching a picture of you, Ted. They can't hear
Oh my
you.
God.
Oh, Ted, you look terrific.
how
Ted, I can put you in the ring right now.
And Ted, did you say 82?
Yeah,
God bless you.
are you still?
Wow.
83. I don't pay houses, but I repair them.
Believe. So you've been a 4-time Grandmaster champion, yeah?
What'd she say?
Well, tell him, Victor. 4-time Grandmaster champion.
That you have been 4-time master champion.
Oh, 83. 83.
He's 83 years old and has been a 4-time Grandmaster champion. An unbelievable story, a great inspiration. Very good to have you here, Ted. So let's do this exercise.
We can include now.
I'm sorry, Jill.
We should include Ted now if he's still there.
You kill me every time I want to start.
I'm shutting up.
No. So, Ted, can you hear us?
You hear them, Ted?
I can hear them, yes.
So we're going to say a category and each one of you will say which boxer applies to that category. So we're going to start with Vinny, Jimmy, Joanna, and then Ted, okay? So...
Can you repeat that, Victor?
Yes, Mauricio is gonna ask. Set some graphic. Mauricio is gonna set some.
Víctor, pon el micrófono mute. El tuyo para que hables con él tú. Okay, so the first category is the punching power. Who would that be? Who's the greatest puncher in history?
Roberto Duran. Unbelievable.
Jimmy.
Hit me the hardest.
Well, I think
for the world. Roberto Duran hit me the hardest.
I'd have to go with Rocky Marciano.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's Joanna. A good one. You're showing your age, Jimmy. You look good. You look good, but you're showing your age, Jimmy.
Joanna Duran?
Yes, sir.
Ted. We don't have Ted? No, we cannot hear him.
But I don't agree with that. I would say Joe Louis because of the 1-2, but it snapped. It's just tremendous leverage on his right. And it was a short, quick boom. And I would say Joe Louis. But I would say also that even though he has terrible technique, Wilder, if he catches you, will paralyze you pretty good.
Yeah.
Because he's got that crazy power. So,
Absolutely.
Wilder, Lewis, Shavers, all those guys. I like down a little bit Julian Jackson, the Hawk, had nice power.
Excellent. So next, the best jab.
The guy I started boxing after, the reason why I boxed at all, Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
I seen that Vinny picked Muhammad Ali, which I thought had a tremendous jab. Larry Holmes had an unbelievable jab.
Oh no, I love Larry. Wait a minute. Let me say that again. Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes, neck and neck. Yeah, neck and neck. Unbelievable. I love Larry. Larry's a great guy. I talk to him quite often.
Joanna, jab?
Ali.
Okay. How about you, Ted?
Now, Ted.
The best jab?
Now, Ted.
I would say, who had the best jab?
Yes.
82, Ted. 82.
Either Lisbon or the guy who fought and almost beat De La Hoya, but he lost, and it was a controversy that De La Hoya came on strong in the last 2 rounds to win. That guy, Bazooka something, I forget his name. He had a pretty damn good jab. But I'd have to go with Holmes. As long as he didn't thumb you.
Okay. Now, next category, the best chin. Who could take the best punch?
Without a doubt, 1,000% Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And I beat his brother, Robbie Sims, who they used to spar together all the time. I gave Robbie Sims kind of a beating. And Marvelous Marvin Hagler don't like me because of that. But Marvin's a good guy. And he had a chin of steel.
How about you, Uncle Jim?
I think I have to go with 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡.
𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡.
Whoa. That's going way back, Jim.
Yeah?
I know.
Joanna?
Rocky Marciano.
Whoa, yeah.
And Ted?
Okay, the best chin, in my opinion, and I'll surprise you on this, 2 guys, Ted Gavilan and Ron Laporte.
Wow.
Ron Laporte, I don't believe has ever stopped or even may possibly knocked out. The level of his opposition was incredible. Ted Gavilan, for all the fights he had, was never stopped.
Wow.
That's a great selection. Laporte fought Salvador Sanchez, Chavez. All the greats in that era. Okay.
Wow, yes. Oh my God, yes.
Next category, hand speed.
Wow. Geez. Sugar Ray Robinson and Floyd Mayweather.
Okay. Uncle Jim?
I think I'd have to go with Sugar Ray Robinson.
Joanna?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Ted?
Let me know when.
Now,
Ted.
Well, again, Sugar Ray, of course, but I would say Sugar Ray, I want to save him for the best closer. Somebody could close a fight once he hurt somebody. I would say there's a kid that John Scully used to train. He didn't end up with a very good record, and he didn't end up well. His name was Mike Oliver. and I've never seen hands speed like that in my life. I saw him fight some guy at the Roxy, and he ran off 23 straight punches before I hear.
Okay, Mike Oliver. Okay, great. Now, this is a good one. Boxing skills. Who had the greatest boxing skills all around? Ring generalship, everything, all around.
I mean, you gotta put Floyd Mayweather in there with whoever you mentioned. You know, in Sugar Ray Robinson and Floyd Mayweather. It's gotta be those two guys.
Okay.
And maybe even Muhammad Ali. If we go for three guys, it would be Muhammad, Floyd, and Sugar Ray.
Uncle Jim.
Tell me when.
Well, I think there's two that I like to mention. I think when you look at Muhammad Ali, there's so many categories that he could be in, but that's surely one.
Yeah.
And the consideration also, I believe, would be Sugar Ray Leonard, would be another, but that's a kind of broad category. Yeah. So
absolutely,
you know, there's a lot of great people that would fit that category.
Joanna?
I'm gonna say Ali.
Okay.
He's like, what can I say?
Ted, now.
Okay, Mayweather for sure.
Yep.
I'll go with Vinny on that one.
Okay. And the last, but most important, the biggest heart.
Well, wait, Vinny, let me go.
Yeah,
so yes. Number one biggest heart, Vinny Paz. And who is running a very close second to Vinny Paz is Mauricio Sulaiman.
Absolutely.
that category, there shouldn't even be any. So I'll let the Joanna, you continue.
Jimmy, I don't know why you never got into politics.
No, I don't want to do that, Vinny.
Too many people to name. Too many people to name. I think there's a lot of big hearts in boxing.
Yes. I agree. Yeah.
When we asked Sugar Ray this question, his answer was any fighter who steps into the ring.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a great answer.
No,
but, yeah. But still, I mean, this is a category. So Jimmy rightfully has Vinny Paz. How about you, Joanna? The biggest heart that you can remember, someone who would not quit, who would go the extra round. I mean, that special fighter that just comes to your mind.
Inside and outside the ring?
Inside the ring. This is infighting, not outside.
I'll tell you who I think had a huge heart inside the ring was Johnny Tapia.
Johnny Tapia. Okay.
Absolutely. That's a good call.
Choice.
Yeah.
Vinny, you have to say, even if it's you can say yourself, you have to say a category so we can create this boxer.
Jeez. Yeah, Vinny Paz. Yeah. Fuck it. Vinny Paz.
Okay, Ted.
Ted, who has the biggest heart?
Okay. Yes, Bobby Chacon, but I think anybody who comes back from a surgery the way Vinny did, that's got to count big time for a big heart. So I go with Vinny first, and then Bobby Chacon, maybe Mickey Ward after that.
I love it. We have a great set of. We're gonna create this fighter, and we'll send it to you. It's very, very nice. So, Jill, how would you like to wrap this one up?
Oh, I don't think it's possible. We should just keep it going.
Yeah.
I'm just thrilled to have all these people here. I mean, Jimmy Breslin called boxing the red light district of of sports. And these guys have all walked through it, survived it, and shared their wisdom with us. Boxing is like any other sport, unlike any other sport in the world, because everyone comes to it with a story, and we've heard some great stories today. Jimmy, I feel for you, but I'm going to stay really optimistic. We're all going to come out of this okay, different, but okay. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. Ted, I'm so sorry you weren't here at the beginning. You're such an asset. We're going to try it again somehow to get you on camera. So anyway, love you all. Thank you all. It's been a privilege.
Jill, you look great. I don't know what you're taking, but I want some of it.
God bless you all. Please stay safe.
Yeah, thank you guys. Vinny, I'm watching the movie tonight.
Oh, cool. Thank you. That's nice. You're going to like it. You're going to love it.
Great.
Bleed for this. Love you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Wow, that one good. It was the Jimmy B show.
So I should change my name to 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 now, Vinny?
Yeah, you look like him.
Okay, I will never fight you, okay?
No worries.
Take care, my friend. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. You take care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Benny, love you. I'll be talking to you, okay?
You're the bomb, Jimmy B. I'll see you soon.
All right. Love you.
See you soon. Love you back.